Hello and welcome back to Up the Villa. Welcome to Transfer Hub, your home of Aston Villa's transfer news, rumours, links, noise, murmurings, incomings, outgoings, you name it. You'll find it over on Up the Villa and Transfer Hub. We are going to put on the end of that now, selling things to yourself that you already own. Here we go. PSR. It looks like it's going to be done and dusted, guys. Done and dusted for Villa for a few years. Right. If you are new to our channel, subscribe. Make sure you are smashing the likes and comment your thoughts on everything that we discuss. Let's get those subscribers going up. So if you aren't subscribed and you watch us and you don't comment, just make a Google account and then that's how you can get involved. Have your say. This is what this whole channel is about, you guys having your thoughts, chatting in the comments amongst yourselves like you always do, which is good to see. So why are we here today? We are here because Aston Villa exploring women's team sale to help comply with PSR. I would absolutely love the shithousery from Villa if this gets announced mid-Monday, June 30th, and then it just gets announced. It would be so funny. It would be Villa sticking their fingers up at the Premier League that this has been confirmed, clarified, done, sold, and then no player is having to leave. I will have a PSR party in here if no player leaves and we've sold the women's team. It will be hilarious. So, what does it kind of mean? It means that we'd be all right. It would mean that no player for PSR is going to have to move. And then that deadline has gone. We would then still have SCR, which is UEFA's wage to revenue sort of ratio model that they've got. It drops down to, I think it's around 70% now, and Villa are currently around the 90 mark. So we've got some work to do there. But with that one, like Kieran Maguire said, you have the whole year. So it's a whole calendar year. So we will have Champions League money that goes into that account because we were competing in the Champions League quarterfinals during this year. So those financials look a little bit different. So we have more time. So we can move things on and evolve as a transfer window. But the main one is that deadline of June 30th that has to be cleared for the Premier League. So, and we know with them that the rules depend on what your team name is. So again, it's okay saying, why don't we just break the rules? Well, for different teams, there's different rules. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. So Villa are looking at selling the women's team, which I think is correct. I think we should be doing it. I think it's a loophole. I think it's a way of getting around it. I think we would probably still own the women's team unless we sell it to somebody else that's connected to Aston Villa. But let's get into the article and what they're saying. And so Aston Villa are the latest club to explore the possibility of selling their women's team to help comply with the Premier League's profit and sustainability rules. One source speaking on the condition of anonymity to protect relationships said Villa have been looking into a sale for the past 18 months, having recorded losses of 195 million over the past 2 years, leaving them in danger of breaching PSR. Chelsea helped balance the books by selling their women's team to the club's parent company in a move which generated a profit of nearly 200 million, paving the way for the other Premier League clubs to consider similar arrangement. Chelsea have since sold an 8% stake in their all-conquering women's side to Alexis Ohanian, a tech millionaire who co-founded Reddit and is married to 23-time tennis Grand Slam Serena Williams. It's unclear if Villa would effectively sell their women's team, which finished 6th in the Women's Super League last season, to themselves or to external investors. But discussions are advancing, and any revenue would be potentially significant if they are to avoid breaching the Premier League's financial rules in future. Villa, whose men team has finished in the top 7 for 3 consecutive campaigns under head coach Unai Emery, reported a loss of 85.4 million for the 23-24 season and 119.6 million for the 22-23. They turned a profit of over 300,000 in 21-22, but a combined loss of more than 105 over 3 seasons would constitute a PSR breach, although spending on infrastructure, youth and women's football is exempt. Chelsea banked 198.7 million from their sale of their women's team, meaning they recorded a pre-tax profit of 128.4 million and stayed within profit and sustainability rules. The Premier League is yet to approve the deal as being a fair market value. However, while Chelsea would still face a UEFA fine as Europeans governing bodies refusing to allow them to offset losses against the sale, Villa will compete in the Europa League next season after finishing 6th in the top flight. So that's the Athletic article. So, sell the women's team and we'll be fine. Are there any other loopholes within this that we could possibly do? Could we sell part of Bodymore that the women's team train on? Potentially, I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs of it, but it will be interesting to see what we do. Looks like this is happening behind the scenes. It looks like we are going to do it. I would imagine it is going to happen before June 30th because it's a loophole there that we're able to exploit. So, again, maybe, I think if we look at Villa players really going into the end of June, what are we? We're on Thursday, so we've got Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We've got four and a bit days maybe, and it's pretty quiet. I mean, I'll probably say that now, and then later on there's going to be rumours of probably every player leaving Villa, but it is quite quiet on the outgoing apart from one player. So maybe we've shut the door on a lot of players leaving. Who knows? So it will be interesting. I imagine once this gets done, then the usual suspect of Eni Aluko will come out and start saying how absolutely bang out of order it is that financial and football owners are using the women as a bargaining tool to sort out football finance. Even though this has happened before and Chelsea have done it, you know what's coming because it's Aston Villa. There's probably going to be a massive uproar about what we're doing and how we're doing this. But at the end of the day, like, we own the women's team. It's part of Aston Villa Football Club. So if we can offset it and sell parts of it, like we're building that hotel, if we can quickly get that up and sell that as quick as we can, then part of that will go as well. And it's just finding ways to beat this PSR game, because as a fan, and as soon as June 30th is here, like, we don't have to talk about it until pretty much the end of the season. But as a fan, and as a content creator, it's not the best. It's not the best. It kind of feels like for me that I can't look forward to next season until this is over, because there's just that unknown of what we're doing. We can't look too far ahead because we've got this hanging over us. And as a fan, like, we shouldn't really be like talking about too much football finance. Yeah, we should maybe talk about it at the end of the financial year when the financials come out, etc., and have a good look at it, keep an interest. But we shouldn't be worried about this all the time. And I think as a club as well, it's just so frustrating that this is what holds us back. And you can look at, and people, the big six look at it in their way. Those clubs, whatever you want to call them. That they look at their club in a way in which they don't have to worry about anything. Use Man United for example, being an absolute mess for around we're got to be getting on for around 15 years now, and there's no financial repercussion with them. If they're bad, don't matter. If they finish 16th, 15th, doesn't matter. It does not matter because the finances are there. It's like playing FIFA or Football Manager, and you've stuck it on easy, and you've just got that war chest of money that you're able to work around, and it's easy. You can sign who you want. You can do what you want. Yeah, you've probably got to just look at some things, but for us who are trying to compete, and we want to spend, and because we've had years of not being that great, we've had owners where we've had big problems with. We've not been able to grow as much. We've not been able to flourish as much. So it's very difficult, and I think fair play to Villa for being able to get Conference League, Champions League, Europa League, and being able to manage all of this. I think they've done a great job. Like Vidagani, Monchi, Emery, they've managed us and paved a way through all of this, through very, very difficult times. Some have had to go, some players have had to go, and we've probably not been able to sign certain players because of it. We've been able to succeed and do well. So if this gets sorted, then it should allow us to feel more comfortable. Everybody feel more comfortable. And then it should be a little bit of a reset that we're able to strategically have a plan. And that's going to be important then. Obviously, we're not going to be able to just go out and spend millions and buy who we want and do what, but we should at least be able to see a little bit of a pathway. And in the distance, we're not going to go, we've got to manage this window and get to May. We're going to be able to go, we can get to here. This is what we're going to look like. We can do this and that, and then we can push through there and plan better, I think, instead of planning to a window, which is something that is not the greatest. So it's exciting. It's interesting. Hopefully it gets done on Monday and we can all stick our fingers up to the Premier League. So it's one to keep an eye on. Hopefully it really does get done. But Villa fans, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts on selling the women's team, etc. What do you think's gonna happen from it? Do you think it will get done? And we'll go from there. So cheers, everyone. Little update on what's going on at the minute. And if you are new, subscribe, smash the likes, and comment your thoughts. Up the Villa.